arguments with directors. They all have a tendency to want sound so loud these days
Yes.
that they destroy the quality of it, you know. Your main hobby, is it, cinema?
Yes, love it.
Been at it long?
35 years.
I've done 37 now.
Wow.
But, last time more or less still too, but I lived in the Navy for 2 years and then decided never to do that again.
Yes. Yeah.
So I saved up a lot of money and went down to Dartmouth and took a course on deep sea diving.
Oh yes.
And I worked for a diver for 9 years.
Really?
And I thought, this is what I want to do, because no 2 days are ever the same, you know, and it's
Yes.
exciting.
What was the deepest you dove?
Oh, it wasn't a question of depth. It's a question of working in harbours and
Oh yeah.
harbour installations. A lot of pipe laying, you know.
Oh nice.
Things like that. In the Clyde. Worked for the Clyde Navigation Trust.
Yes. Well, you're not frightened being on the water, you know. Wow.
It's so dark and mucky you can't see anything anyway. The biggest danger actually is the cold.
Yes.
A friend of mine cut 3 fingers off like that with,
yes.
an underwater cutting torch.
Yes.
So cold he didn't even feel it. And then when he came up about 3 hours later, he was sick from loss of blood. And that's the first he knew about it.
Jeez.
But it's not like the clean blue water of Florida, you know. Dark and cold. Quite dirty in harbour. Sound Associates supply them, it cost 10 quid each.
Yeah, it's pretty rock and roll.
I don't understand why it's such a long leaves on here. Never understand that, why there's great long leaders on there. I figured if the projector doesn't come up to speed in the length of a leader, there's something wrong with it. Remember the Odeon in Shepherd's Bush?
Yeah.
Well, right next to it there was a small soldo.
Oh, I didn't know there was a Soldos down here.
It was a little narrow place,
Yeah.
and it had gas house lighting.
Yes.
Yeah.
Wow.
And you know these long sticks that they take to turn the mantle down?
Yes.
It take them 20 minutes to put the house lights out. Beautiful. A colossal fire risk, of course, you know.
Oh God, yeah. Were there many Soldos down in the south of England?
Oh yes. The cannon up the road was on the soldo for a while.
Oh.
It's a big company at one
I
time.
thought they were like a Northern-based company because we had the Soldos up in Liverpool.
Yeah. No, there was a lot of them. There was one in the Strand. I think there was one in Richmond. There was quite a few. They were never very big.
Hmm.
They were all quite small. Because they all fell foul of all the fire and safety rules.
Yeah. Yeah.
Working in cinemas was never like that anywhere else.
In Wick, yeah.
because you had 5 double feature programs a week,
Yes.
every 2 days,
Yeah.
kids matinee on Saturday, Sunday show, and you were living in a place that used to get snowed in every winter.
Oh no, yeah.
So in say early November, you had to get your films up for the whole of January. And you're talking about 2 features, and shorts and cartoons and God knows what all come up by truck.
I know.
And we got a phone call one day, and this driver said, I'm stuck in the Berrydale in a snowdrift in Caithness. He said, I got all your films aboard. I said, nothing I can do about it. So we hired a lorry,
Yeah.
and we tagged onto the end of the council snow cutting team at night,
Yeah.
and cut their way to Inverness, Had the borough surveyor with us so that he could tell us where the telephone poles went across country and not followed the road. We unloaded all this stuff onto this lorry and back up to Wick. All had to be stored in order of showing,
Yes.
which took until about 9 o'clock in the morning. And this place had a coal boiler, which had to be lit and stoked up all day.
Wow.
What a place.
Wow. Amazing. Yeah.
And instead of, when he saw this wisp of smoke in the gate, instead of
Yeah.
ripping it away quickly,
Yeah.
he chucked a bucket of sand on it.
Oh no, throw sand all over the projector.
And every moving part was ruined, And we phoned up, I can't remember the name, but projection engineer in Glasgow. We said, we need virtually a complete projector, because every moving part is ruined, and we need an engineer to put it all together. And he said, you had some bad trouble last year, didn't you? And we did. We had a burned out motor and God knows what else. And he said, yeah, I remember. He said, I sent an engineer up last year. He said, you were snowed in for 3 weeks. He said, by the time I got him back, he was a bloody alcoholic. You're not having another one, he said.
That's a good one.
There's nothing to do with going to the pub. That's all there is. He was no use to me for a month after that.
Yeah.
You're not having another one, he says. Just another job for the town here. Well, there's steady hand on that. One day we're going to protect it like that.
No. Well, you selected them, Alma.
It's gone forever now. The only time you'll see anything like it is in
Bradford.
oh well, yeah,
Yes.
yeah, or a gimmick like Thorpe Park or something. It's
Yeah.
not the same thing. Bradford is really the centre of the whole country.
That's right.
It's got
Yeah.
everything. Fabulous place. But there's always something new.
Yes.
We got directors coming in here saying, have you got such and such a sound system? I said, no, of course not. No. Oh, everybody's got it. They haven't. Studios have. They
Yeah.
buy everything.
That's right.
But you have to remember that there's a new one comes out about every 6 months from somebody. And while you're buying up this one and thinking it's the best in the world, their sales reps are selling the next one.
That's right.
And their factories are building the one after that, and the designers the one after that. So nobody's going to update every time, Even a big cinema like the Odeon Leicester Square will only update every 10 years or so.
Yeah.
And then they'll miss out the ones in between and get the latest. And there's no idea. The people in the studios, they're so used to having the best. They expect everybody to have it. When the Rogue,
Yes.
the first CinemaScope film,
Yes.
and we had a little wooden frame screen, 1:3 ratio, you know.
Yes.
And they said, well, you have to take that down and scrap it. And we'll send you up the frame, and you put the frame together over the stalls
Yes.
in two halves, you know, pull them upright, and then bring the halves together. And then unroll the screen over the seats in the stall.
Oh yeah. Was it a big cinema, this one in Wick?
Oh, it wasn't bad.
Yeah.
The first CinemaScope film, of course, was fantastic.
Yes.
Going from a 1:3 ratio, you know, scope. Because it also had the movable top masking.
Oh yeah.
So the ratio was correct, you know. They're not anymore. Everybody's gone for it. Leave it up and get a big picture.
Yes.
But it was absolutely amazing, and it took us all night to do this.
Wow.
We had the screen rolled out, lace up the top edge, and then pull it up,
Yes.
tie it around the frame.
Oh no.
All that work, it should have been done by somebody like Harkness. Or something,
Yes.
you know.
Yeah.
All have to do it yourself.
That was the fun of it, wasn't it?
Oh yes, yeah. We used to have to send the film back by train, you know.
Yeah.
In the winter time, it was really, in Wick, it was very dangerous.
I bet.
Because the cinema's up on top of a hill. And we came out at night with a feature each in these metal transit cases. And the road was covered in black ice, you know. And I said, this, you know, can't carry this, we'll break a leg or something. So my colleague up there, he said, well, put it in the road and we'll shove it down, you know.
Yeah.
And we're shoving this down the road. And then his one just took off, you know. There's no traffic or anything. And it hit the pavement, bounced over the wall, and went into the harbour. A feature. And I said, oh, we're going to get real trouble now, you know. Not at all, he said, not at all. Take the other one to the station, very carefully, he said. We signed a book for both of them, and we blame it on British Rails. And we never heard another word about it.
Oh, that's good.
Oh, it was great times up there.
Is that film still sitting in the harbour, do you think?
Probably. I mean, harbour's got about 10 feet of mud at the bottom, you know, just it disappeared.
Oh, wow. It's nice to see the president. Yes.
You really need a bigger lamp.
What size lamp have you got?
2 kilograms. You really need a bigger. The meeting food frozen.
Need a 4K.
Well, yeah.
Benny Bentley.
Yeah. He brought up all the stairs.
Yeah.
Very tired, he can't get him. Big weight. It used to have
There's a BTH.
BTH projector.
Yeah.
On the left-hand side of the lamp house was bolted on a mirror, 45-degree mirror, with a little door that you could slide open.
Yeah.
And your projector light used to go through that, and you could put slides in there, and you could get big, beautiful slide pictures.
Wow.
And nobody else ever took it up. It was a great idea.
And was that a standard thing on the BTH?
It was on one model, yeah.
Yeah. Wow.
But nobody else ever did it.
Makes sense, doesn't it?
You had this kind of light, you know.
Yeah.
Some of the slide projectors used to have it low intensity carbons, and they were dreadful.
Yeah.
Flicker about, you know.
Flutter me.
Yeah, but you had this kind of light, steady and everything. You could slip your slides in a dual carrier, you know.
Yes.
You could put one slide in, slide it out, put the other one in, slide that one out.
Yeah.
So it was a great idea, but never to go, not once. Which is right from the coast, you know?
Yes.
And there was no reason anyone could explain it. Sound went off one day, just faded away. And then this place came up with all the broadcasts from the fishing boats.
Really?
And people were inside and they had all these fishermen swearing away at each other, you know.
Oh.
And then it just faded out. And all the old dears sitting down the front said, I know that man, you know. This was from out at sea somewhere.
It just...
And it just faded out and the sound came back on. Engineers couldn't explain it or anything. Very strange.
The atmosphere must have just been right or something.
Yeah. Moved on from White Star Road. Ended up in the north, you know, what was it? Salting Islands and Trenton Park.
Yes.
So there's someone up there where 40, it's all in the newspaper all over the country, 40 pilot whales
Really?
beached themselves on that promenade.
Yeah.
They were so big that nobody could figure out what to do with them. They just lay there and rotted and stank
Oh,
there. The
no.
whole town stank of it, you know.
I like these gold-coloured spools.
Yeah, they're from, what's the name of the people again?
Jack Rowe? No.
Jack Rowe.
Jack Rowe?
Yeah. They're good and strong, but they tend to come loose because they're screwed on, you know.
Yes.
They can be tightened up every now and again.
Yeah.
Well,
You put it on here, do you?
you actually do it on here
Oh,
because
right.
you can't run an entire feature through this.
Oh, really?
Because once these wheels are full up, it starts laying it back on again.
Yes. Of
You
course.
can take off about 20 minutes and then
Yeah.
you got to take these off and wash them.
Right. So you clean your film on the French when you get it?
Yeah.
Oh, lovely.
You can do it on there, but you've got to take it out every 20 minutes.
Yeah.
And leave however long it takes you to do your rollers.
Yes.
Leave a gap in the cleaning. Alan doesn't like to do that. He's around here by hand. When you're breaking something down, send it away, especially on the crossover. That's better.
Yeah.
I've been making up a program on there, breaking another one down on there at the same
Really?
time. And I think not the last time, but the time before, I actually finished everything 3 minutes before we started.
No.
So it's good when that happens. You know, it's something, it's like the old days.
Yeah.
Have you been somebody up here filming? You can take good pictures of the auditorium with that. Picture of the auditorium, a big auditorium. A big theatre anyway. Somebody said they wanted a picture of the whole auditorium. So I set the camera right up at the back in the corner, a wide angle lens on a tripod with the shutter open, a very small aperture. And then went around with a flash gun and just painted the piece in part by part. Cost a fortune in batteries. But every piece was lit, you know, the same, all the way around. And then I just put the house lights and food lights up to colour it in. An exposure of about half an hour all told.
Hey,
That
come
was
on,
a
good.
great picture, fabulous picture. It's not a thing you'd have to do here, but this is a big auditorium.
Yeah. terrible.
There's an awful lot of fire escape.
Yes.
And Disney was responsible for putting a stop to that, really. Because, you know, Disney managed to get $500,000 fines, confiscation of equipment, 5 years in prison. Disney managed to push that through.
Yes.
But they were bribing projectionists to take a printout at night.
No.
And, you know, take it back and it wouldn't be scratched or something, you know. Now, I always thought it'd be far easier if they had the FTS van with all the latest prints already in the van, you know.
Yeah.
I mean, they were all Bedford vans. You could
Yes.
open with a tin opener, you know.
I mean, so many different stories. This business is fabulous, isn't it?
Yeah. Well, this is quite a history, this place.
Yes. Have you got any ghosts in this building? That's some cinema thing.
Films are too boring.
Dear.
No, I've never seen one, but it has a long history. 'Cause it used to be a huge theatre with a theatre organ that came up in a lift
Yeah.
and all that, you know. And beautiful proscenium arch. That's all gone now. It's left a legacy of things that go wrong because it was a system that was actually cut out. You know, electrical circuits and things.
Oh yeah.
Ventilation, ducting all sealed up so that it was only servicing half the theatre anymore, you know. That's caused problems because you overload things or they don't get through to where they should be.
Yes.
But it's being ironed out very slowly. This is still operative, although it's all through cinemation now. You know, you have a manual overlay line.
Yeah.
And that doesn't work now. This one. The two projectors up there from now. This was at the Odeon in Leicester Square. Oh, maybe 25 years ago, maybe more. And we were coming up to run from Russia with Love. And we had a visit from Sean Connery and his first wife, Jason's mother, you know, what's her name again? I can't remember her name. And you know how actors make a movie, by the time they come to promote it, it's finished.
Yeah.
And they're doing something else.
Yeah.
And he was in the middle of making a film called The Hill about an army prison.
Yeah.
And because he's bald and has no hair, and because he was wearing a moustache, you know, because of this other movie, the chief projectionist, Michael McLaughlin, didn't recognize him. And Connery's very curious about everything, you know. Plus he talks with a broad Scottish accent, and he swears all the time, never stops swearing. And of course she kept saying, stop swearing Tommy, which is his own name. And he kept touching things, you know, and Mick said, I don't know who the hell you are, but if you don't stop mucking about with the equipment in here, you're out, you know. And the manager says, this is the start of our film, we're opening tomorrow. And we'd run this film 13 times already.
Yes.
And he said, I don't remember you, what part do you play? See?
That's a good one.
And Connery said, well, let's say I put this hat on, he said, and forget the moustache. And then he said, my name is Bond, you know. Does that help? And Mick said, my God, I never would have known you. And it was so funny because he was so getting ready to chuck him out, you know, because he was touching everything. And it was a big star.
Wow.
He got on famously after that, you know.
Yeah. Oh, that's a good one.
put this program in 4 times,
Oh, do they?
you know, which
Yeah.
is a lot of trouble. I mean, it's the same program each time, so
So you just have it pulsing round.
just have a self-pulsing line
Yeah.
on it.
Peace.
Sorry?
Silence. I say silence.
Yes, won't last long. Actually, quite reasonably quiet projectors, these.
Yes.
They're very old. And these are Victoria 8s.
They've been around a long time.
Oh, yeah.
I like them. It's a lovely machine.
They're very good, yeah.
Yeah.
Never give a lot of trouble.
No, never.
One thing they tend to do after a long time is the shutter tends to move a little bit, and that's where you
Yes.
might get a slight ghosting. It's easily remedied.
Oh, what are these hooks? They're different ones. I've never seen them before.
Woolworths.
Really?
The ones they sent in
Yeah.
with that kickstand. I thought we still had some. There were little black things,
Yes.
and you might be 10 minutes into your future and you go pop.
Oh, no. That's good.
So we got these from Woolworths
Yes.
and replace them about every 6 months, and they take a terrific hold on there.
Alright.
They really do bind the film on. Not much of a problem. I mean, when we had double feature programs,
Mm-hmm.
and your film came out to maybe here,
Oh,
you
yes.
know. Oh. And one place that did that, and because it was a triple theatre, the guy had to let it shut down on its own and run off to start the other
Yes.
one. And it came off, and it just one layer at a time. When he came back, he had this big black pyramid. And each layer is a twist, you know, it took me ages to put it back. These are very good. They do a good job, these.
That's neat. Yeah. You know, you go different places, everybody's got different ways of doing it. That is really good. I like that.
See how stiff it is.
Jesus. That is stiff.
You never have trouble
That won't
with
come off.
Never have trouble with a moving print with them on.
Oh, dear.
Oh. The worst thing is racks and kickstands.
Oh, God, yes.
And that's quite a problem with us. If we get a film in at 10 in the morning, it should be going on at 1, you know.
Yes.
And then you have to put one of these sponges in.
That's it. We've all done it.
And the speeds change. Apart from that, they're great.
Yeah.
When Christie's first came out,
Oh, yes. The AW1 was that. That was the one with the white plates. They were terrible. They had 2 different motors per plate.
oh no, this was plates like this.
Oh, really? The
The
AW3?
Christie's rep came down
Yeah.
and he said, although we build these things, you know, we need you to tell us
Yes.
what we haven't thought of.
Of course.
And we said, well, what we could do with is a ring like this, but maybe that thick.
Yes.
And he said, what for? I said, well, we could put the adverts.
Mm-hmm.
We could drop them in if we had them done up on a small ring and a feature on one of these
Yes.
thick rings. There'd be room when he took the ring out to drop the ads through it. I'll get one down tomorrow. Just like that.
Did he make one?
Yeah.
Excellent.
And they also made a big shoe which took the entire program.
Yes. I've seen those.
And nowadays, with everybody shifting their phones around, you really need them.
Definitely.
I think we're breaking the law today, you know.
Why?
Well, this film has got a certificate
Yes.
which covers the bad language.
Yeah.
But the CD from the soundtrack doesn't have any kind of certificate.
Oh
And
dear.
that's swearing as well.
Oh dear.
Bad
Yes.
language with information.
any good?
No idea. It seems to be half a dozen different stories. I'm hoping that to wait maybe 10 minutes, quarter of an hour on the last house to get them all in.
How many do you see?
770. Very cheap. Very cheap to hire. Very cheap place to hire this. Very, very cheap place to hire.
Very nice though, and it's in a beautiful area.
Would they pay the hire fee?
Yes.
They're getting projections free. We don't get paid for it.
Oh yeah.
No. He wants half a dozen run throughs as well. Oh. Very quick way to get on the Christmas card list.